Once Upon a Time.
Really? Is that what you're going to go with? Once Upon a Time?
What's wrong with Once Upon a Time? I've heard it used billions of times.
Oh, I've heard it used 3 times already.
Exactly. It's perfect. Great place to start.
What, of all the great first lines in literature, you used the most overused of them all? You could have said anything. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Call me Ishmael. It was love at first sight.
Well, what would you suggest?
Well, I don't know. I've no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Imagine a time of exploration and swashbuckles and the scent of the soul to the air, the creak of the timber on the wind,
Are you going to sing?
the harsh Atlantic waves and the pull of the tide.
You are going to sing, aren't you?
A child was born in Tavistock round 1535. Was the second son of 12 children, and it's a wonder he survived. He wasn't granted legal rights to his father's farm for years, so he had to make his own way out and to find a new career.
A word, a two.
In the Roman Catholic uprising of 1549, was forced to flee to Kent, you see, but then Francis didn't mind. At age 13 he took to sea upon a cargo barge, you see, and by 20 he'd made captain when the good old captain died. By 23 in the company of his cousin, that's Sir John, and under sail of Hawkins' flag left Plymouth in Devon. They voyaged to a brand new world. Instead of girls found small grey squirrels, but thanks to them both Englishmen, where the slave trade had begun. Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though it's there for all to see, with a hole full of gold as history's told, while he circumnavigates the globe. Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. Well, to escape the sleet and driving rain, he sailed off to the Spanish Main in search of gold and silver and the sun. But in violation of a truce, the Spanish cannons they let loose, so he almost died in 1571. Well, now by 73 he climbed a tree, the Pacific Ocean he had seen, along with a heavy laden Spanish train. So he made for home on August 9th. Every man aboard was set for life, but then another truce meant Drake would see no fame. And I said Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though it's there for all to see, with a hole full of gold as history's told, while he circumnavigates the globe. Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. It was December 1577 when he climbed aboard the Pelican, and he sailed away from Plymouth out the Sound. With 200 men and 5 new boats, but only 3 were left afloat. The Atlantic cost him dear this time around. And after 1 or 2 more violent storms, and a mast got broken, the rigging torn, and 1 ship sank and another turned for home. But undeterred, cause this was Drake, but he sailed right through the Magellan Straits, and on the winds of change, while he carried on alone. And Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though it's there for all to see, with a hole full of gold as history's told, while he circumnavigates the globe. Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. Well, now in honour of Sir Christopher on the Pacific side of America, when the Pelican was renamed the Gold Knight. While sacking ports and stealing ships, and resupplied and full of tricks, with the voyage home laying heavy on his mind. Well, now he felt the need for solid ground. Loma Point was where it found, and a friendly native stopped him for a time. So he claimed it for the English crown, and he called it Nova Albion, yeah, but in his haste would have left some men behind. And Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though it's there for all to see, with a hole full of gold as history's told, while he circumnavigates the globe. Oh, Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. Well, now he kept his head as he went north. He drew some maps to plot his course. He sailed as far as 56 degrees. Through the wind and rain he jibed and tacked, but freezing weather forced him back. Ever being Drake, he would not see defeat. And when he rounded the Cape of Good Hope and somehow found Sierra Leone, when it was 1580, sometime late July. But then by September 26th, when he spied his Plymouth through the mist, well then he made it back, though only 59 survived. But Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though it's there for all to see, with a hole full of gold as history's told. He circumnavigates the globe. Oh, Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. Well, now the cargo hold was full of stuff, and half was Queen Elizabeth's, and it's worth surpassed her income for that year. Well, he was knighted and became a sir, and then she made him Plymouth's mayor, and sailors roared and the crowd began to cheer. And two of the sailors who had just survived the voyage became classified, were sworn to silence on the pain of death. But then plenty thoughts of Spanish oars, when Drake himself he climbed aboard. Oh, 10 men down when he sailed with what was left. And I said Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, oh, it's there for all to see. With a hole full of gold as history's told, he circumnavigates the globe. Oh, Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. Well, now his story must move on. The Armada, it has been and gone. That part of history's documented well. So even on the day he died of dysentery with a smell aside, with his lead-lined coffin while it sank beneath the swell. Well, and El Draco, that he's known to some. In Spain he is the bogeyman, but in Plymouth he's just a hero to us all. So just remember old Drake's drum when someone threatens England, because the legend says, well, I'll answer to the call. Well, I said Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though, it's there for all to see. And with a hole full of gold as history's told, he circumnavigates the globe. Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. And I said Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though, there for all to see. With a hole full of gold as history's told, he circumnavigates the globe. Yo, Drake was now the pirate scum who sailed the seven seas. 200 men and 5 new boats, but only 3 were left afloat. The Atlantic cost him dear this time around. And after 1 or 2 more violent storms, and a mast got broken, the rigging torn, and one ship sank and another turned for home. But undeterred, cause this was Drake, but he sailed right through the Magellan Straits, and on the winds of change, well, he carried on alone. And Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. There's a statue up on Plymouth, though, it's there for all to see. With a hole full of gold as history's told, well, he circumnavigates the globe. Drake, he was a pirate who sailed the seven seas. Well, now in honour of Sir Christopher on the Pacific side of America, when the Pelican was renamed the Gold Knight. You say about not mentioning Duncan? While sacking ports and stealing ships, and resupplied and full of tricks, with the voyage home laying heavy on his mind. Well, now he felt the need for solid ground. Loma Point was where it found, and a friendly native stopped him for a time. So he claimed it for the English crown, and he called him over.
Amateurs, anybody wants me, I'll be in my trailer.
And Drake, he was a